Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the channel this evening. It's the one and only our Jim and my mucker Albert. Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Fox. Evening, Albert.
Evening, Jim. Evening, Oxford. How are you two doing?
It's the morning after the night before, Albert. The morning after the night before. Jim?
Aye. I just put an order in for my hankies for next year at the same time on eBay.
I hope no, mate, but I'm hearing there's a few bids going in for your white flag book.
No, but I think there's a few red flags getting raised for this squad and this manager.
Right, we'll talk about the game, try and be as fair. Obviously, the boys talked about it last night. It's hard, and fair play to them, it's hard when you're disappointed to come on and talk about it. You know, emotions are always running high, and Albert, me and you know it's quite difficult after bad results, eh?
Oh, aye, it's no good. It's definitely no good. It's not one of the more enjoyable times, I'll tell you that. But anyway, it's just one of the things, I mean. At least the club's got a good reputation with other people know. That's why I look at it. Wake up every day, Rangers supporter, Protestant and a Rangers supporter. You can't have everything in life, know what I mean?
Nice couch would help. So,
well, that's true.
So, we didn't start the game particularly well, you know. Then we get a foothold for about 10 minutes. And from there on in, we pretty dominated the first half. I'll say it was a scrappy goal. Yeah, it was a scrappy goal. It wasn't a classic finish, but you take it. And we had opportunities to make chances. And once again, you know, all that forward play, all the ball running about the box, yeah. And we never made a lot of chances. Albert.
It's true, mate. We don't. Well, we have been making chances, but I think it was the system last night. I know last night. Okay, we didn't make chances last night. No, but we have been making chances in other games. So, but going back to that, I think they played that 4-2-3-1 last night. And you just don't make chances playing that system. It just doesn't work. But what it's supposed to do is make you hard to beat. Well, that didn't work either, did it? At the end of the day, mate, how we get beat.
Stick to the first half.
I know. I'll get in the first half. I'll get the first half in a minute. How we get beat, I don't know, mate. I don't know. With Hearts, no, credit Hearts, they won the game, but they're not a good team, mate. Let's be honest about it. So what does that make us? The first half, mate. I thought we controlled the game in the first half, without being threatening. I definitely thought we controlled it. I mean, they couldn't lay a glove on us. Shankland was starting to put in late tackles and everything to try and gee them up and get them going. The crowd were quiet. We had them practically going to sleep, man. They were raging. They can't get the ball. They couldn't get near us. And that's what I seen in the first half. We scored that goal, the scrappy goal, as you say, and I just seen us controlling the game. And I'm saying to myself, this is no danger. But again, you're not putting them away. You got the control of the game, control of the ball, but you're not putting the team away. So you get what you get if you don't put a team away.
Aye, you've got to, when you're on top, Jim, you've got to make and take chances, mate.
Aye, you need to gamble a wee bit. I thought we were too ultra cautious at times when the ball could have been moved forward quicker than we. I can't remember who it was, but later on we had a chance. I don't know if it was Diamonde, and then all of a sudden the ball was played away back to the centre half. I don't know what's up with it. I really don't. Scunnered as usual.
So look, we weren't outstanding in the first half, but I like your words you've used, control. And my frustration was we had opportunities to make chances, Jim. And if you've got the boys score goals, and that was, we'll maybe come to that and get your thoughts on it as well. But you know, I was actually surprised he was in the starting 11. Wow, I mean, he didn't want to cross it yesterday. He kept it neat and tidy. And, well, I'm sure we'll mention him when we come to the first goal, but he was frustrating me because it was in good positions, Jim. He was getting the ball in good positions. Do what you're good at or meant to be good at. You either cut in and have a shot or you go outside and put a decent cross in. That's it. That's when you play in that position. That's what you do. They're nothing. 10 years back, nothing. Take the heat out of the attack. Now, maybe I'm in the heat of the battle, I'm maybe being too harsh to them. But that's how I felt at the time.
Oh, you're 100% right. We should have went for a juggler. We weathered the storm, got the goal. Then it was a case of fitting the ball, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. It's no use. We can't play like that.
And that's another point I would say that, if I'm honest, Albert, there's times when we're centre halves and that have got to ball too much, yeah. You know, and we're just letting teams get their shape in front of us.
I've been saying for long enough. I've been saying for a couple of years now. The goalkeeper, 2 centre halves, touch the ball more than anybody else. And you really don't want them touching the ball any more than the so-called creative players, but they do. And it's that slow, ponderous passing back and forward and stop. In fact, the Fernandes, Jagger, and Butland, I've seen them all standing on top of the ball, just standing there rolling it under the soles of their feet. You're going, what's happening now? It's like, I'm not allowed to go forward. I've got to wait till a certain thing happens. What that thing is, I haven't a clue. That's what they do. You're going, can you not speed this up? And we're a different team when we speed it up. You go, start playing the ball at right speed. Take the chance. Jim says, take a bit more chances, put the ball forward. And I don't mean a lump forward. I mean, put a pass forward. But they don't want to do it. They keep going in these circles and back the way and back, and going across the way, back the way, across the way, back the way. There's just twice that I remember, maybe even there, but twice I remember in the first half, Olsen had a one-on-one. He got a one through ball, and he's practically through and go, and he stops, cuts back, lets the guy catch up, and then knocks it back to Tavernier. I make sense of it, mate. I can't make sense of it. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know, it's mad. It's just mad football.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not saying it was just his fault with the loss, but it frustrated me again, his performance. Because, Jim, let's be honest, as our good friend Ian used to say, it's not a dog in the fight, it's a heart in the dog, and there's no heart there.
The guy's looking as if he doesn't want to be here. Again, I've said it all along for years. Scottish football's not for everybody, but you need to have that desire and heart to roll the sleeves up. Supposed to be going for a league, and we're producing crap like that. More so for him. We're not paying that boy peanuts. We're not paying him peanuts. I'll tell you what, but where has he been? Am I right in saying that he's not started in 7 games? So how come all of a sudden he starts in that game and that match last night?
So that's a big question. I'm going to take the fifth on that one. Do you know why?
Go for it.
Because I want Albert to answer it. Albert.
I don't know, mate. I mean, I think I never do when players come, or before they come, and after they're here. I never go look at YouTube clips. I mean, I never ever do it. It's just a waste of time. But with him, after he's been here a few weeks, I'm trying to figure out what player is this guy? Because I'm not going to admit I didn't know much about him. I'm saying to myself, no, I need to have a wee look. So I have a look again and look. And I see the guy playing. I'm going, well, what he's doing with us is basically what he does at other clubs. The only thing it was missing was as I said to you before, is cutting in, going across the area and having a shot, a bit like Cherny done. That's the only thing it was really missing. So I'm saying, well, maybe that's the bit. Maybe he's waiting to play himself into the team, get settled in, comfortable with his teammates, and then it'll all start clicking in. Nah. He doesn't give the ball away a lot. I said that before, and in the next game he gave the ball away 3 times. But he plays safe football, super safe football, mate. That's what he does. To no avail. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't create chances, and especially no exciting. And it doesn't win you games, mate. I don't care. It just doesn't win you games. So that's what I'm looking at with him. As far as I'm the Jim, I would just send him back in room, man. It's a waste of time, mate. Complete and utter waste of time. Just say, nah, thanks, but no thanks. And the
Are we
money's
on?
been asked, from that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Who come up with that?
Are we on agreement? The three is yes or no. In hindsight, or even before the game, you wouldn't have started them. Jim, yes or no?
No, I wouldn't have started him, no.
Albert?
No. I
agree.
can understand why he started him. Because what he's trying to do is control the game, which we actually did, and take the sting out of them, because they were going to go at 100 mile an hour. They're looking, sniffing for blood, but we took the sting right out, and he's a player that won't give the ball away. Normally, he doesn't give the ball away, mate, and that's what Rowe was looking for. He's looking for players that's comfortable and safe on the ball to take the sting out of the game. So that bit was all right. That all worked out perfectly. The whole first half, near enough, worked out perfectly, mate. And then you're going to get into the second half, and also we'll leave it to you, get it.
Also felt in his defence that there was times where he should have got the ball, and we didn't. We tried to go through the middle when it should have spent 1 metre to get him out. But I agree with you. There was times where it was 1-on-1, and I don't know what his trick is. If you can only come inside and go for that shot, well, how he's got so far with in the game and with such a high alleged pedigree was a shock. But he wasn't the only one. We had a couple of players never played well. But I was surprised that he started. The rest of the team, well, you've got the debate about the fullbacks. Here's a question for you both before we go on, and this is about selection. And I'm not going to go to the manager when I say this, because I'm sure he'll get mentioned with the cause, all right? But I've always said it in my head that if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to be play, because the guys that you're there to replace could run into each other in the first 2 minutes. You'd have to go until you get 2 injuries. So I didn't understand Romans and Nadiri on the bench if they're not fit enough to. If they're fit enough to be there, they should fit enough to start. In my humble opinion, Albert.
True, but I'll tell you right now, they two come on and they're not fit.
Right, so they should have been on the bench then.
No, should have been on the bench, mate.
That's another. Maybe they wouldn't have been if you don't have 119 substitutes, but that's a whole different debate, because I just find it strange, yeah, when you do that. No, not just for they two, and not just our manager, but any manager. Jim?
Aye. As you said, they came on and done absolutely offered nothing. They'd never have been on the bench. Never been on the bench. But again, that's the issue is there. My issue with the manager is he doesn't know what his best start 11 is. He's been in here for months and he still doesn't know it.
Aye, well, I think he pretty much knows his best starting 11, mate. If he could get them all fit, they two would be playing if they're fit. But I'll take your point that they're I'll be polite, all better than ring rusty, yeah.
I plus some. But I disagree, Jim. I think he does know. I think he knows he's starting 10, mate. It's the one position that it fluctuates. But if everybody's fit, I think he knows his best 10. But for the rest of it, no, he doesn't know the rest of it. But he knows that. And by the way, last night, it's bad. We get beat. So that's it. So you can't argue any other way. But you've got to remember what happened last night and look what you're up against. And we done well. The disappointing thing for me was I can't believe we get beat with a quality team of Hearts, because I don't think Hearts are a good team. I hope they win the league. If we don't win it, I hope they win it. No, I mean, obviously, but I don't think they're a good team. I don't think that Scum are a good team either. So you've got 3 teams challenging for the league, and I don't think any 3 of them deserve to really win the league, to be honest with you. No in quality anyway. But somebody's got to win it. That's common sense, isn't it? But nah, I was disappointed, mate, with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the first half was the first half, mate. And you've got to give them credit for taking the sting out of that game. And they did. Let's be honest with it. Hearts couldn't even lay a finger on us. Playing all around about them. All playing all around about them. Some nice stuff at times, but no dangerous. But so that plan went. That part of the plan went perfectly right. I'm sitting there like, this is like a European night to me. They're controlling this game. No bother. People running off the ball. People going between players to take passes. 1-2s, passing out. So there last night. I'm saying, oh, this is okay.
Till the final third, Albert.
To the final third. We weren't dangerous, mate. I'm not saying we're dangerous. We controlled the game, but we weren't dangerous. But then I'm saying to myself, right, the second half, right, here we go. We know normally it's a good half, bad half. I see, I'm looking for the second half to say, well, I think they'll come out and wait for them because they've got to do a reaction. We all knew that. So you're waiting, going, we're going to pick them off right away. No bother, just pick them off right away. No, we didn't. Right. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go in with the second half, mate.
So half time, I'll tell you what concerns I had. If I'm honest, Jim, yeah. See if you thought different. I did. Away all better. I thought we did control the first half without being outstanding, but we're not getting carried away. I was concerned. I said, look, we've controlled this, and they'll most likely score with their first effort goal. Well, little did I know, Jimmy.
Correct again.
So at half time, I thought we'd go on and win the match. Yeah. And then this, what we've been accused of, Albert, this 45-minute team, one good half, one bad half. And if you actually look at it, if you take this game, first half was okay, pass marks, second half, fail. Last week, first half, fail. Second half, pass marks, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
We Falkirk,
Livingston, Celtic, first half, pass marks. The league, second half, fail. So whatever we're doing, we're getting wrong because it's a 90-minute game. So they came out, they tweaked their shape. It looked to me as if they went sort of 3-4-3 to give them the extra body in midfield. We never reacted. They got in control of us and then scored a goal for a catalogue of defensive mishaps or wrong decisions. And then we got a bit of luck because the boy was unlucky with the one that hit the post. I mean, I think if it's inside the post, it's a goal. I don't think good goalie's getting it. Well, I don't think good goalie's saving a lot at the moment, but that's, I'm sure Albert might mention that. Comes off the post. Help me. Now, I'm not blaming Tav. Scott Wilson wasn't even looking the right way. I don't know if he picked that up, Albert.
Oh, turned his back. Hear him do that, but aye, turned his back, mate.
By the way, sorry, Tavernier was screaming at him more than once, pointing at him and screaming at him to mark him, to watch him, watch it closely before it gets in. And again, but see prior to it, what is Sterling doing? What is Sterling doing? To try and shut that guy down, him at the boy that hit the post. He done nothing to even try and force him away from goal. He's let him step inside him again. But I've seen a lot of abuse of Tav. He's not the greatest defender, but I don't think he was to blame for that goal. No chance. And see this Malaysia, the team, I feel this season all started since we went out of Europe when we've had one game a week. I don't think we've kicked our backsides since that. I tried to have a look earlier. I know you're the man of stats. To me, this Malaysia, this team, started when Rangers were put out of Europe on the 29th of January. Aye, we've had results. But you named that 4 games there. Even the Dundee United game where we beat them 4-2, that game could have went 3 each before it went 4-2. They hit the post with a free header. It could have went 3 each. Well, I've been warnings there for that team for weeks.
But what I will say to you, Jim, people from outside in maybe looking at it might not say that. But like they might say is they've not kicked their backside since they had a holiday in Spain. Oh, better.
I think it's been before it. I really do think it's been before it. I think the problems have set in since we went for no playing 2 games a week.
We've started conceding goals, and that's the problem. So we've lost the goal. It's a combination, as I said, Albert. It's come off the post, which is a bit of luck for us, isn't it, if we're honest? It was literally the first shot of goal. I can't work out what Scott Wilson was doing. I really can't. He's not even watching, mate. And you're in
He's not interested. He's not interested, mate. That's the thing. He's on the park not to give the ball away, mate. But that's it. That's all he does, mate. Simple passes. And he's no interested. If you want any proof, just look at that goal again. Everybody needs to look at that goal and go, what are you doing? Tav was shouting him, but Tav should have still dealt with it as well. Tav's to blame. And Butland, that's his side. If you watch the shot, it's his side of the goal. He's gone that way. and he lets it get. It's just a side foot into the net. And you're saying, oh, it's only us could lose goals like that. You know what I mean, in an important game.
Well, I've got a theory on his feet, mate. And that's another story. Right, so we lose the goal, the whole mood changes. And if I'm honest, we pretty much fell apart. We huffed and puffed and done very little. And they in the second half were a better team. And we tried to change it and need the influence again. We lost the midfield. Our defence looked all over the place at times. And then we lost the second goal. Great finish by Lawrence Shanklin. Great finish. But how did it get there? And what was centre half doing? Jim?
Yep. To me, the alarm bells here was the distance between the big boy Fernandes and the room that Shanklin got to put that in. Nico Raskin was doing his job when the ball get cut back, doing a lead deflection. I think Raskin seen what the issue was going to be, left his man, who didn't score the goal, but tried to get the block in. But the distance between Fernandes and Shanklin was horrific. He was still in there with the freedom of it, Gorgie Road, by the way, to put that in the back of the net. And strikers like that, they don't miss chances like that. But the whole build-up to how the ball was allowed to go to the byline, then the cutback takes a deflection, absolute shambles. I don't even know. I think it was Sterling who was maybe standing about 5 yards near the goal, but Fernandes was. Where's Buddy? And see the other one, the one for Wolves. I'm going to have my comment on him, by the way, near the end of the game when we start talking about this.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I thought he was my best player yesterday. It's no high praise, but I thought he was arguably my best player, which is bizarre. Albert.
Who?
De Giga.
De Giga, eh? I don't think the two centre halves were right. Shanklin just showed a clean pair of heels to Fernandes for his goal. Because he does what a good centre forward does. He steps off his marker. The trouble with us is whatever coach is getting done, Fernandes stands and watches him, but he stays and holds his position. To me, that's coaching. He's been told, this is your position, make sure you hold your position. But Shanklin's reading the situation and saying, step away from him. And that's exactly what he did. The guy was fortunate enough to get the ball to him. Right, that's fine. It's fortunate or no, it still gets to him. And he does the rest. He puts it away. And if we score that goal, you're saying, what a great goal. So, again, we'll talk about Butland and the goal if you want. Mr. Wonderful, can't save nothing. He had a great save later on in the game, but the two goals, woeful. It's just woeful. Woeful defending and woeful goalkeeping. It's as simple as that, but there you go. That's what it is, isn't it?
Goals you've been losing, the same goals you've been losing for weeks.
I think the boy Fernandes in the last few weeks, mate, because of the amount of goals we've lost, has been shocking. And I'm not blaming one individual, but I think he looks as if he's not always been there. And what does that say about John Suter? But I'll come back to you after that. We better get the phone lines open, boys.
Yeah.
Aye. Yes, hopefully we get a few calls tonight. Get yourselves on, guys.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, I'm not blaming the boy Fernandes, but he looks as if at times he's switched off. And a lot of the goals, I know they're all of no defending great, but I take your point, Albert. There is sometimes a big gap between the centre halves. When they go left and right, when they've not got the ball, if anything happens in between them, there's no centre halves there, and to help your mate out, you're too far away. And I think it was Tava you beat to the winning goal, and he doesn't get there, and the boy puts it back. The Jigas took it. He's left there, and he's actually doing nothing. Yeah, he's no sniff of danger. And I know he's a big boy, and I know he's decent on the ball, and we've seen that at times, even yesterday in the second half, with the lovely wee melee up the wing. So he's got that. He's got that in his locker. But it's centre half. Your first thought is always to defend. But I'll go back to the question I asked before we asked people to join us. What does it say what Danny Rowe thinks of John Sewer? When the run of games and goals have lost, and he's not getting a sniff. You
He's
know,
thinking, mate. I mean, he was in more losing goals as well. it's we keep thinking about the goalkeeper and the two fullbacks is your problem, mate. That is the problem. The way the style of play where you put these fullbacks in. Now Tav can't defend anyway, so it makes no difference to him. But Sterling can, and so can Romans. He can defend as well. But if you're going them up the park, they can't be two places at one time. So that leaves your two centre halves, who I think do all right. I really do. But then your goalkeeper, he's got to start making some saves eventually. And he's no as simple as this, mate. If I was any other team in Scotland at the moment, and you're playing Rangers, as long as you get the shot on target, I think you've got more than a 50-50 chance of scoring. Just not any shot. I'm not talking about it has to be well placed or particularly hard or anything like that. I just think any shot on target has got more than a 50-50 chance of getting in. But that clown between the sticks, because I don't rate him at all, mate. At all. I think he's a clown, a goalkeeper.
Jim.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself here. I agree with you to an extent there. But to me, under Clement and all, remember the game against Motherwell at Ibrox where he was beat on his post? Beat on his post for a nothing close that started the demise in that season as well. Then up at that game, up at, what do you call it, up at Ross County.
Ross County.
He had an absolute howler.
He threw two in, mate. Listen,
I then that same season, the cup final against Celtic, man, in stoppage time, man, he flings the ball out to that guy, Adam Eder, whatever they call him.
Aye. Listen, he's paid to make saves in the last few weeks, as all Bear says. The stats will bear you out, you know, because I don't think Hearts exactly peppered the goal yesterday. I think about 3 efforts in the second half and 2 of them were in, you know, on target. Well, one of them was a decent save, but it's one you'd feel that your goalie should save. It's a decent hit to the point. Aye. And the second one, I don't think he's given much of a chance, but the first one, if he moves his feet, and I think that's all his problems come from. You seen it last week with the first goal, mate. His feet are always in the wrong position, mate. Yeah, you know, he's got a year left in his contract. Well, we'll see what happens in the summer. It's a big position, and you've also got to have the cojones for the occasion. Albert.
Well, he's got a year left in his contract, mate. I hope he doesn't want to fulfill it. I hope he just get him to, because no for me. You're not going anywhere with him wearing the goals. They need to get a decent keeper. There's no getting away from it, mate. We need to get a decent keeper. Kelly, if Kelly is happy to sit in that bench, man, with that clown doing what he's doing, and no, at least asking the question to the manager, how am I not getting a game? I mean, I know he get dropped at the beginning. Oh, it was Ferguson that dropped him because of the same thing. And then he get back in and it's pre-season, he'll try harder and he come back, starting to show a wee bit better and saying, all right. He just always get the mistakes in him, mate. I've never seen, he puts me in mind of fathering him. No, I mean, another crap keeper. You're sitting saying, that's the level you're at. You're not McGregor, or Gorham, or Kloss, or Woods, or any of the keepers. You're nowhere near that level. Nowhere near it. So you're sitting, I'm used to seeing good keepers. We all are used to seeing good keepers over the years. And then you're sitting watching this clown trying to keep a ball in the net. And they're no particularly hard shots. And I do blame him for the second goal as well, mate. I think he should save that. I don't think there's anything, difficult, but it's not in the corner, mate. Again, it goes under him. He can't get down. But again, that might be what you said, his problem with his feet. He can't move his feet. Wickham or in the wrong position. So, no, I'm not. He, to me, should not be the Rangers keeper anymore. I would take him after now, mate, and in the next 3 games, you just say, that's it. Your time's up. Get your agent to get you another club because you're not coming in. You're not continuing for next year. And get him the armband and all as a captain. That's madness, mate. That's just crazy. even it's not just because that's him. I don't like to keep him a captain anyway, but particularly him because I don't think he's a leader, mate. So that's just my opinion on him.
Yeah, listen, I just want to, we're talking about the number of goals we've lost, and I'm just going to go through some just quickly. Yeah, just quickly before we go. And I'm going to start for the last Hearts game. Yeah, just for then. So it was the 15th of February. So, yeah, and this is league goals. I'm just talking league goals. 2 against Hearts, 2 against Livingston, 2 against Dartmoor. Clean sheet against St Mirren, 1 against Aberdeen, 2 against the D United, 3 against Falkirk, 3 against Motherwell, 2 against Hearts. There's a trend. There's a trend. Albert then, Jim.
It's woeful, isn't it? Come on, that's woeful. It's just, I'm not wearing this. Not I mean, he's a keeper. Just no wearing. I don't think Kelly's that much better than him, but you got to ask for your chance at least. Ask for your chance. But there you go. It's a trend. It's diabolical goalkeeping, mate. That's what it is.
If it was a bar chap, you wouldn't go on the wall, would you?
No. Oh dear. It's frightening reading it. It's frightening. But again, what do you do? What does the manager do? The only thing he can do is stop playing him. I mean, come on. Time's up for him. Come on, you can't keep on like this. It's time is up. Tavernier, time's up. Suter, time's up.
Jim.
Right. I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying there. But that was the question I was asking earlier on there when I says about when we went back to having the full week training prior to being, after being put out of Europe. That's what I was saying about the amount of goals I've lost and how all of a sudden we need to be asking the question why this has happened. We all of a sudden looking solid with the set piece coach, everything was working out for us, blah blah blah, and all the rest of it. But see last night when we were talking about the what do you call them, about the leadership group, there was a stage in that game last night where one of them should have taken a hit for the team to take the sting out of that game and get that squad up all in and tell them what was supposed to be happening here. It happened at Falkirk when we scored the goal right on half time, where they all got together and fingers were pointed. That should have happened in that game last night when the pressure was starting to be put on that team. Somebody should have taken one for the team to break things up because nobody was doing it last night. Put in, do the dark arts. We've not got anybody within your group with dark arts wanting to do these dark art things. Teams are doing it to us. They're smart. They're streetwise. Why have you know? We're too nice. We're far too nice. That's my opinion.
Well, maybe I'm not having a go at the manager because, well, a lot of people will be entitled to their opinion. But maybe that's where some level of criticism. Sometimes you've got to react when teams change their shape. And maybe we should have went with. They've went with 4 in the midfield. We went with 3, and in my opinion, Albert says it's slightly different because I think you had a 3 of the way we took Kwani playing 1, but I didn't see Diamondi playing in front of him. I think he was meant to be more on the right, when Raskin more on the left, with Chuki in the middle, being the guy side to side. When the game started the second half, maybe that's where you think, right, what are we going to do here? And you put 4 in the middle. Maybe that's the reaction the managers have made. In hindsight, Olga. And maybe you bring Conor Barron on. Yeah?
He'll bring in Conor Barron on. That's for answer there. I know. It's the quality, isn't it? It's definitely the quality. I can see what you're saying, mate. But it's funny that we can play the way we played in the first half, and in the second half, we can't get anywhere near that. There's various ideas. I've heard people talking, and it's been happening all along. It's not just last night. It's been happening a lot. So everybody's got their theory on it, and it could just be just simply down to bottle, mate. It could just be that. But I think there's players there in the team that shouldn't be in the team. Let's be honest about that. So I'm putting it down to bottle, mate. It happens too often. Just to bottle it, and that's the end of it. We bottled it against Motherwell first half, then come out and scrambling about trying to get the equaliser, and then complete and utter lack of quality kicks in again with Barn trying to cross a ball, a simple ball into the box, try to cross a simple ball into the box, unchallenged by the way, and gives it straight to their keeper. So it didn't have to make the save and step back or jump up and make the save. Straight into his arms. He walks 2 steps forward, 3 steps forward, throws the ball up the wing, and away they go, and then score the third goal. That sort of thing is criminal, mate. And that's the guy we're talking. Oh, we'll bring him on for last night's game. Same as Olsen, playing Olsen. Didn't play for weeks, then we play him. Neither it's making any sense, mate. Neither it's making sense. The Olsen want to say he's there not to give the ball away. That's simple as that, mate. So says it in the tin, he doesn't give the ball away, and that's what he doesn't do. But he doesn't create very little. He just dribble or take MD on.
But he's not going to win you the ball. He's not going to win you the ball, is he?
Oh, and he's not going to win you the ball either, mate. He's a nothing player. If you want to keep possession, I'll keep the possession for you, but that's about it. But as we said before, possession's nothing. It means nothing. Zero, nothing. The only thing it makes in it is putting the ball in the net, creating chances and scoring. That's football. Somebody ought to tell Rangers that now.
Well,
can I bring something up, by the way? I watched Eric McInnes last night, and I listened to his interview pretty closely, and they asked him about the start of the second half and how he changed things. He didn't change anything other than the personnel. That was his words. Hearts didn't change anything other than the personnel on that park. And you put your mind back to the Celtic game. That was a downfall against Celtic. Celtic changed personnel and we crumbled. And we done that last night again. Derek McInnes was pretty open in his assessment of last night. I know people say, I shouldn't be watching blah, blah, blah. But it's interesting to hear what he's saying. And he said he didn't change anything other than the personnel. And it was the boy, him that scored the goal. The guy in the middle of the park. That was the change in the personnel.
Spittle.
Right. He didn't come on at half time, did he?
Aye.
They brought him on. He was the one that changed it. That was the exact same thing happened against that mob. When we were running over the top of them. They changed that player. They didn't change their shape or anything else. That's what McInnes, he was pretty open about it. He said I never changed any shape or anything. He said I changed the personnel and that was it.
Well, that's what I seen him tweeting a wee bit, but maybe it was just that we were all over the place. But I would have, listen, when I'm saying about Conor Barron, my rationale for that was at half time. I'd have took Olsen. I would have done. I thought he offered nothing, no Barron. I just feel he's no part of our team neither. I got that impression. And I've had that impression before, and I take your point 100%, mate. He's not played in weeks. How can you be match fit? All this stuff we hear about match fitness. It's like back to the big one with Conor Goals. Remember with Bill? Hadn't done a pre-season.
Yep.
You know, then you get right into the team. So it's either match fitness for everybody, or is it only certain players? You know what I mean? Albert.
Most of the talk's minced anyway. They talk, you know what I mean, and match fitness and all this crap. You know what I mean, it's just minced because they keep contradicting themselves, as you've just pointed out with the players you mentioned. So I don't believe any of that they're saying. To me, as Jim said, I mean, that boy comes on, and I never heard McInnes saying it, but that's what he's saying. Well, it's down to bottle then, isn't it? It's down to football intelligence and bottle. You're sitting going, you're doing it in the first half, but you don't want to do it in the second half. Why? Somebody explain it to me. I don't get it. People that running, people are wanting the ball, Stoke wanting the ball, and then we're just shelling the ball up the park, mate. Just totally shelling up the park. Just kept getting the ball right back to Hearts. I mean, they must have got the ball after us. We was just giving them the ball. But 90% of the time when they were on the ball, mate, it was unbelievable. You're just giving them the ball. Especially that clown.
But many times have we done that in the last few weeks.
Jim. It's like Bill Bear finished, then you come in. It's nice and easy, mate. Calm down. Take one of these settlers off of that mantelpiece. Carry on, Albert.
I'll leave a lap going. He's busting to give me a point. That's it, Jim. Tell him what you
Go on then, Jim.
Oh, you go. I apologise, mate. Sure. The show's yours, big man. On you go.
He's let you in. Go on then, Jim. Get it off your chest.
No, it's been happening for weeks. It's the same thing. We're in possession of the ball, in great positions, and all of a sudden teams are turning on us. and bang, goal. The game last week, the winner against Motherwell, you're in possession, in great position, bang, loads the ball, and it's a goal. It's been happening for weeks. And I'll tell you the man that's been a culpable for it. I know you have a go at me asking, and he's not been great because I don't think he's been getting a horn in there. But Big Chucky, man, he's another one. It's pathetic.
He had a good first half and a poor second half. Mate. Anyway, we've been joined by Josh. Evening, Josh. Evening, Josh.
Oh. Hi, good evening, Ox. How you doing? All right. It's just a sickener, really. It's just a head scratcher that the signs were there a way back for the Hibs game for me, and the performances have just been poor. Gain teams 2 goals a start and 45 minutes. Playing the game for 45 minutes is it's unacceptable. See, for me, if I was in charge, and I know I was a fan of Danny Rowe, we're 7 points behind. If he gets beat with Celtic on Sunday, I would sack him on Monday morning, because that would be us 10 points behind. And from being touching distance from winning the league, a chance of winning the league, to capitulating like that, there's no excuse for that, Ox. There's really not.
He's lost 2 big games, and look, I don't know where you go with the sacking them, mate. You're preparing another manager. You brought in 3 players. One of them could ship out. We'll see how we go with these players. All the plans will be down the road for pre-season signings.
My question, my reply to that is: can we have confidence that he's going to turn it around with another 30-40 million pound in the transfer market?
I don't know if you could say that about anybody coming in the door, mate. I really don't. And whether people have their own thoughts on Danny Rowe, and they're entitled to them. And it's a results-driven industry, as we've said with a few managers. What I will say is, going forward, if he didn't get results, that would be magnified. And I'm not maybe talking about just this season. I'm talking about going forward, because of what's happened in the last few weeks. But he's lost 2 big games, and he'll get criticised. And I think some of the criticism is due. I think some of it's OTT, because our squad's really threadbare. You know, I've made a case to bring on Conor Barron. Albert.
He's a rough deal. He's a rough one to play. Whether we're going to sack, I don't need to worry about it. Whether we're going to sack and whether you don't. I don't even think it's a debate, because at the end of the day, your man Kavanagh's a ruthless man, and he'll make that decision one way or the other. So come the end of the season, you'll soon find out. If Kavanagh says he's the right man and he thinks he'll do the job, well, that's it. But if he has to be sacked, make no mistake about it, Kavanagh will sack him. And that's the end of it, as far as I'm concerned. What he's doing now, that is criminal. With the chance to win the league. Of course we did. Rowe had kept saying 9 cup finals, 8 cup finals, blah, blah, blah. So we get there and we get beat with Motherwell because we're bottle crashed. I'm calling it. I don't know why we get beat, but I'm just saying it's bottle. And then we get beat with Hearts, bottle again. That's as far as I'm concerned. As for Raskin chucked it last night. Let's just be kidding yourselves on here. He chucked it. He didn't want to play that left side of the midfield. And if Raskin doesn't get his own way and get to where he wants to play, that's it. He just doesn't. He just chucks it, mate. He throws the towel in. So he chucked it last night again. So that's for him at the game. And the whole in the second half they all just fell apart. Work it out. Can't work it out. Why did they fall apart? Is it just bottle? Is it they're just no good enough? Is it a combination? I don't know, mate. Not a clue. Nobody's a clue. But the role carry on. He He's getting decisions that we wouldn't do, I wouldn't do, you wouldn't do. But he's the man. He's saying that he sees he's got a lot more information than we've got. He's privy to it. What's happening at the dressing? Tavernier comes out with his decision. Did they event today with that? No, I think he was as surprised as anybody else that Tavernier came out with that. So that the only reason I'm saying that, I'm not saying that affected anything what I've done. The only reason I'm saying it is it's some of the players are just doing what they want today. They're no contributing to the team. You've got to contribute to the team, and I don't think some of them are doing it. I really don't, because at the end of the day, you look at Olsen, not interested. You look at Raskin last night, not interested. And you can't say that. You big the boy, they bring the boy Nedry on. I don't even think the boy touched the ball. I don't even think Miofsky touched the ball either. So you're looking at that. You look at Gassman, can't he get by a man? You look at wee Mikey Moore, great wee player. But he never got by many players last night. No in a dangerous position. I crossed the part a few times, but no in a day. No 1-to-1 going forward. I don't think he get by anybody. He's got a simple pass to make, and he can't make the simple pass. If he gives it, Olsen stunning on the far side of the area, straight through, can he make the pass? Things like that. It's a combination of things like that. It's just, I don't know. Players will need to answer themselves, but you listen to an interview. Oh, we know what the game means. It's a big game. We're going to make up for what we done in Saturday or Sunday with the Motherwell game. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. No over bottles, no crash. No, we're up for this fight. They say all the right things, and you're saying, "All right, good." Oh, they've got the message, and then they walk out and put some dreadful performances in as the second half goes. And by the way, I don't think Hearts in the second half were all ours at all. I think Hearts looked at the Royals because we kept giving them the ball.
Hi, we
crumbled. We gave them the ball. It was unbelievable. Oh, we did. We crumbled, mate. There's no doubt about it.
We crumbled, mate.
Because I'll go back and say it again. I don't think Hearts are a good team, but they're good enough to beat us. Put it that way.
Jim,
I agree wholeheartedly. I don't think they're a great team. I really don't. I've been saying it for weeks. I still don't think they're a certainty to win all their games that they need to win either. And I seen somebody posting earlier on, and I think it was on your page.
That'll make it more frustrating, mate. That's the problem, because you'll get more frustrated.
And that's what the issue is with me. It's frustration more than anything else. Again, I keep hearing people, my mates, all that, having a go at the manager. I'm playing these players more than I'm blaming that manager again. And it's the same thing we're saying every season. Players. They've not got a mentality to play for Rangers. They've not got it. They don't care about Rangers.
You want my take on it for my Topham's worth, Josh?
Aye, on you go, Ox.
So, I think the Scove Olsen one reminds me of when Giovanni, you played Ahmad up front at Parkhead, and we were a man down in a big game. That's what yesterday looked like with Scove Olsen. You got away with it in the first half, but after a couple of minutes in the second half, and how he can be match fit when he's not kicked a ball, well, pretty near off 7 weeks, he's hardly played. And he's had the hook at half time, he's not played. Played a 2-week break, and then he never played the third week, and that's even since the 2-week break started. That's a month, and he's not kicked a ball, so that was a mystery, a head scratcher. And the manager, for me, will get criticised for that, but that's because we don't win the game, so you always get that. And then the leadership group of Tav, Butland, and Raskin, who were experienced pros on the park yesterday. Because after them, you've got Sterling, and the rest are very, very young. Yeah, Tucci's young in midfield, on Diamandi's not particularly young, but centre halves are inexperienced. The boy up front's who played a lot of games when you look back at his career, mate. He's played most of his football for us. And the so-called leadership group and the way they go about the game, Tav's done. We all know that. And I don't want to criticise James Tavernier because I think he is a Rangers legend. Is he the best right back we've ever had? Not a shadow of a doubt anywhere near it. But his numbers will never be touched. Yeah, so for these reasons, you'll be fond of remember. And some of his magnificent goals, because they'll always be there on YouTube. But the leadership group, mate, when I was watching that organisation and what was happening yesterday in that second half, and then throw it to the coaching staff. when you can put on 5 strikers, or you can try and put on 5 strikers, it doesn't work if nobody's going to make a chance. And that's when my coach, I think, looked a bit inexperienced. Yeah, because that, to throw on the centre forwards and make 3 on it to finish, but if nobody puts the ball in, doesn't matter how good a centre forward you're in, you'll never score a goal. So leadership, and tactics, mate. That's my concern about the second half. There you go. Got that off my chest, Albert.
Go for it, mate. Just to touch on Jim's point, mate, about Hearts, they'll not win the league. Hearts only need 2 draws and a win, mate, to win this league. That's all they need. They don't need 3 victories. 2 draws and a 1 victory and 2 draws will win them this league. Simple as that, mate. And that's what I'd be. If I was the Hearts man, that's what I'd be saying. Look, don't go mad here. Don't go mad here. Well, this is done and dusted. That mob across the city, the old pedos across the city, they'll be jumping up and down and listening in the night and shouting and bawling, we're going to do this. No, it's not in their hands, mate. It's outside their hands. They just don't know it yet. But two draws and a victory, and that league's apart. And that's what they thought us, kind of on.
Yeah. But the wheels have come off for us, mate. The confidence has went. We're losing goals. Everything. It's a bad combination. I think we've been joined by Bob J. Good evening, Bob J.
Hi, good evening. How are we? Need to ask. I know how I feel anyway, just like everybody else. 4 weeks ago, such optimism. Bookie's got his favourite for the league. We're on top of the world. We're ready to go for it. What happens, it all falls flat in its face. Ah, well, another trophyless season looms, lads. What can we do? Anyway, Albert, a question for you. And the rest of you, obviously, did you notice at Roll's press conference last at the weekend there? I think it was Friday he did it. That how downbeat he looked, how flat he was.
You've asked the right man that question, Bob Chair. He's got a theory. He's got a theory on it.
I think he was I think what happened to him on the Friday interview, mate, is he's thinking, if I go in here and I'm upbeat and not happy on it, people are going to start saying, oh, you did the Hearts one, the mother one didn't bother you. That didn't bother you. So, and if he goes on to downbeat, then what you get is what we're getting is some people saying he's chucked it, he's threw the towel in. You can't win, mate. It's one of these situations you're sitting there, and no matter what way you come across, I think he's sitting there raging, mate. I think he's sitting absolutely fuming because he's got to sit there and field these questions, and he knows what the questions are going to be because of the Motherwell result, and he's raging about his team. See, what I've got wrong with this team is we're saying it's a 45-minute team. He knows that as well as we know that, and he can't put his finger on it. Why they're throwing the towel in. But see, if you're on the park, and we all know if you're on the park, that's the most important thing. You're the ones that can make to change anything that's happening on the park. And what's happening on the park? There's no brains in the team to go, hold on, we need to do this. Hold on, I need to put the ball into a certain place or run with the ball when I need to run with the ball. It's all just robotic nonsense, mate, and they don't know. You're looking at Tavernier, for example, and down at the corner for that second goal. I mean, he's been in that position 1,000 times, mate, and still he doesn't know how to defend it. Still he doesn't know how he's doing. That guy should never get that ball across in a million years, get that ball across, but he did. And people get in that position always get it across. And that's the thing that frustrates Rowe. He's sitting watching it going like that. What do you do with your captain, one of your most experienced players on the park, in a situation that you should deal with, no problem, but he doesn't. And I'm not, as Ox said, we're not blaming one person here. It's a team performance. We're not blaming any one individual. But you've got to critique the certain things happening in the game, and that was the one. That's an important one because it ultimately caused a goal. So I think that's what Rose do. He's just sick.
I think you're batting up the wrong tree there.
I can hear him. You hear him. So what we're saying
Sterling was unstoppable the same.
Jam. On you go, Bob, yeah.
What you're saying is there might be there might be a load of disagreements in the dressing room, and the buck stops with the manager, and as you say, you think he's chucked the towel on, and it's like it's a broken squad. That's my take on it anyway, because the performance against Motherwell was horrendous, and the second half last night was horrendous. We were different class for them in the first half. You all seen it. You didn't need me to tell you. I just could not understand. It's been a season-long thing. That's 2-0 against Celtic, blowing them away, and then somehow we contrived not to win the game. Why can we not put our finger on this? We could have been a lot better off. We could maybe have won the league. It's too many drop points for the same problem, only playing for 45 minutes. I don't know. I don't care. The rumour on the street is that Rowe will be away at the end of the season. I don't know. I don't care. It all remains to be seen. I'm just utterly disappointed.
We could start with getting a new goalkeeper. That's became my priority, which is mental, because we're going to need centre-halves as well. You know, because the manager doesn't fancy Suter. The Giga's on loan. Well, arguably only got one recognised centre-half. So we're going to need centre-halves. And the goalkeeper, so we're back to the old problem of building for the back. Aarons is going to go back. Magoma's going to go back. And obviously Tav's going to move on or retire, whatever he's going to do. So we're then looking at fullbacks, you know. And you come, Jim, you were coming in there, mate.
Just the big man was saying there that stopped the cross with Tav. Again, I'm going back to the first goal, the exact same, blaming Sterling for the exact same thing. He jogged across to the boy before the boy cut inside him and got the shot away up the post. Sterling's got to be doing better in that position, i.e. forcing him away for goal. Don't show him inside. And it's the same with the one with Tav. I think it was the Giga that tried to step out there and all for Ox before the guy got the crossing and on Tav. Because I think that's how Fernandes was left in the centre half himself.
I think that the actual, I'm trying from memory here, that I think the actual all started with a bad goal kick from Butler. You know, and then we didn't defend well. Anyway, we're getting near the tune, but Josh, in you come, mate. These your thoughts?
I just agree with everything that's been everything that's been said. It's just been a complete mess for a way back, right for the start of the season, Russell Martin, and then we all had like kind of blue tinted glasses on when Danny Rowe was picking up the points, but we weren't really paying attention to the performances. But for me, there's some of these Bolton teams that have been playing wanted to 3 points more than us. Look at Livingston, 2 up, and they were coasting. We never even done anything. Their goalkeeper had an outstanding game, but for the Livingston player getting sent off in the second half, we wouldn't have got a point because they were an easy street, really, because we were passing it side to side, back, and then it's just been a catalogue of calamities right through for Hibs and Falkirk and Motherwell, and it's not good enough. It's really not good enough. But before the tune, I think we've lost our identity. I think there's no enough. Hearts and five.
Can I just cut across you? I don't know who the noise is coming from, but if you're not talking, get yourself mute because we're getting a lot of background noise. Carry on, Josh, quickly before we get to the tune.
So, Hearts had 5 Scottish lads, 4 on the park and 1 on the bench. We had none. Gone are the days of Richard Gough, Stuart McCall, Ian Durrant, Ali McCoist, guys like that.
I think one of them was born in Leeds, and the other one was born in Stockholm, mate.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
I dare people who know what the club's about. I get it, mate. I get it. Right, get yourself on mute because we're going to have a tune.
I don't know if you can see what the Rangers really mean to me in these last few years. I've been afraid that we might drift away, so I've been telling old stories and singing songs that made me think about where we came from. And that's the reason why I feel so very proud today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. We won 9 in a row, and I'm still dreaming of Brian Laudrup and Trevor Stephen. Big Marvin Andrews said keep believing. Davy Cooper on the wing, and we remember Gaza with great affection. The day the helicopter changed direction, and Jimmy Baxter was pure perfection. Super Valley scores again. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and now I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more than sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Ibrox Stadium is calling me, and I'm coming home. To think of life without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers, you're everything I've ever had. Without the Rangers, you know that it would make me more sad. Glasgow Rangers is everything I've ever had.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Here's somebody who always goes off his backside to make his point. Evening, Billy.
Good evening. He's all right, troops. But
Well, I've got some
no
good
bad.
news, Billy.
What's that, mate?
Where I was on Saturday, I couldn't get a signal on a field to get the Super 6 on.
Oh, well. I've been betting winners
Every
at the
cloud
horses,
in
mate.
that. Every cloud in that. Every cloud. First time ever. Well, second time.
I've been betting a couple of winners at the horses, so I'm doing no bad. Pulling myself out of the hole, but I'm a wee bit more, how can I put it, mellower than I was last night, right enough, but
I get
could
that, Billy.
change.
I get that. I was frustrated with that performance, mate. Frustrated.
It's not just that, Ox. Listen, I was listening to Josh here, and obviously, listen, we don't want to call for any of the manager's seeds. You know, we don't want any of the Rangers managers sacked first and foremost. Because when we start sacking managers, that means we're not doing something right, doesn't it? I know the success we've had has been by successful managers, but I think it's been collective, Ox, to be honest with you, mate. I think it's been a collective issue between the players and the manager. You know, even for the manager came in, he started to get a wee turn out the players, etc. And he got us obviously 1 point off the top of the league. And then obviously we've went from there to, which could possibly be a distant third. And Kavanagh he didn't look a happy man last night sitting in that stone. That was the impression I got. And I mean, I look at some of the win game ratios and all that. You know, I've got some things written down here, mate. And it's a good job you've got your work in the morning, mate, and I've got an hour, because there's three managers. You've got Michael Beale there, of all people, with a 74% win rate. Right? Aye, and then you've got Clement with 67%, and you've got Roll with 61, and it could be worse. Now, I'm going to look at the managers' big games, should I say, the ones that mattered, right? They all matter, to be honest with you, right? But he's played 13 big games that I can see, right, if he came in, mate, right? And his track record is stinking, right? He played Brann, he got beat 3-0. He played Celtic, he got beat 3-1, albeit by 10 men. He played Roma, he got beat 2-0. We played Braga, we drew 1 each. We played Ferencváros, we got beat 2-1. We lost 2-1 to Hearts. We beat Celtic 3-1 after no performing in the first half. We lost 3-1 to Porto. We drew 1-1 with Motherwell against 10 men. We drew 2-2 with Livingston with 10 men, playing against 10 men. We drew Ibrox in the Cup semi-final, or quarter-final, should I say. Obviously went out in penalties. We lost 3-2 to Motherwell last week, and we lost last night to Hearts 2-1. So that's 13 games that matters. He's won 1, drew 4, and lost 8. So to me, that's collectively an issue between the manager and the players, mate. You know,
potentially, Billy. Potentially, mate.
Potentially, mate. You know,
because it's pretty much been the same group of players. Albert.
The facts are the facts, aren't they? We can't hide the facts there, mate. It's playing in the nose in your face. He's not doing well. I'm not going to give him that. You could say there's mitigating circumstances, blah, 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 but what's the point? The point's going to be that Kavanagh will make the decision. And he'll not suffer fools, mate. I read that after the man. He's already proved that. He'll not suffer fools. If he thinks Rose no the man for this job, he'll not be there. Simple as that, mate. He won't be there. You don't win the league this year. Fair enough. They weren't meant to win the league this year. I don't even think anybody at the club thought they were going to win the league this year. We had a wee spell there. We thought we were going to sneak it. And it's just disappointed we fell apart the way we fell apart. But at the end of the day, if he's not a man, Kavanagh will make a decision. Mate. I'm quite confident that. And if he says he's a man, well, he's a man as far as I'm concerned. He's got to be backed. All this change the manager, and everything's going to be hunky-dory. It's not going to work that way, mate. You've got to back somebody somewhere. You've got to stick with somebody sometime. You can't keep sacking everybody and saying, right, change all the players, 12 players. You can't keep doing this, mate. We're going to get nowhere, absolutely nowhere. So, no, I'm quite happy with it. If he's got to go, Kavanagh will make a decision, and that'll be it for me. I'm not calling for his head, no chance. I don't see the point yet.
I think it's quite simple, Albert. I think it's quite simple. Billy's right, but when push comes to shove, his stats would have been a lot different if he'd have won the last 2 games. And it's the 2 games that the criticism will build up for. The rest of them, players sent off, they came against them in the semi-final when Asgard does something absolutely mental. Yeah, and then obviously that day sent off, did they get sent off? there's catalysts in all the games, but some of the games, Roma at the time were too far ahead of us. I think Diamandi had too mad. He get sent off against somebody in Europe for the second time. We've shot myself in the foot a lot. Bad defending, but I didn't know who our centre halves was. We've been all over the place at time. We're really short. The squad's threadbare. But I think the two big Danny Rose stats, we can dress it up all day long, Jim. I think it's the last two, played two, lost two, 5 against, 3 for. That's all that matters, because if that had been the other way about, this show would be so different, right, Jim?
Oh, big time, it would be different. Am I right in saying that was Kavanagh and he was in Springvale last night? Was it one of his sidekicks for doing the road with him last night? One of the money men?
That was
You're
a
right,
guy
Albert.
That's a guy for
Aye. But you say it's going to. I think there'll be a different gravy for Douglas Park and all the rest of it, because they're putting a lot of money in here. Right, okay, it's going to get interesting.
Aye, Billy, in you come. I do think that's a big start, mate. It's the last two, mate, because his stats would have been so much better. You know, you'd have been saying, oh, he's got a highest win percentage if he wins them, and he can make all that, and the excitement being grown. That's when he shot himself in the foot collectively, but for the goalkeeper, the defenders, the midfielders, and the forwards, mate, they've all let him down. They've all let us down. Yeah, and that's when all the criticism, a lot of them should be aimed at. You know, because it has been a collective. You could argue about Roll's selection, Billy. You could argue about his tactics. You can argue about this, but when the game starts and some of these highly paid professionals can't pass the ball 10 yards when there's nobody near them, mate. Wow.
It cracks you up, doesn't it? You know, when you see, as you said there, you know, you've got professional football players that, I mean, they've got to hit the basics, gentlemen, haven't they? They've got to hit the basics. Surely they can pick passes, and surely they've got their own self-belief in their own ability and desire and hunger and passion. You know, when things are not going right, to go and drive each other on. You know, set standards amongst ourselves, set their own standards, set the standards of what they expect for others. You know, and it's no rare, mate. It's, as I said, it's been a collective. To me, it's been a collective issue. That the full season, one way or another, for way back when you look at the Martin carry on right through to the present time now, and you're probably right, mate. If he wins the last couple of games, it's a different ball game. But you know, he's come out and said that he had the cup finals and all that. He had all these cup finals to win. Well, the cup finals at Martin, he's lost them. You know, and ultimately as a Rangers manager, mate, you know, that's what you get judged on. You get judged on winning games of football, and you get judged on winning trophies, etc. That's just the nature of the beast. You know, that's just the way it is in Scotland, especially at Rangers and Celtic. You know, coming second doesn't mean nothing. In Scotland, you either win or you're a failure. That's the way it is. But you're right enough, Fox, when you're talking about the what do you call it, the pool. I think we've got 26 players in our pool, mate, and we've got something like between certain individuals going back to their parent clubs. Obviously, Suter's got an extension of his contract, Taverniers. I think it's something. I think I counted it roughly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we've got about 17 players, mate, and the rest are got to be away. 17 players at Glasgow Rangers. Come on, you know what I mean? So, in that summer transfer window, you've got to say to yourself, well, you've got to weigh up your options. As Albert said, you know, Kavanagh, he'll decide if he's got to keep him or he's not going to keep him type thing, like, you know, because to move us forward, I'm not saying money buys you success, but listen, it goes a long way to getting a proper standard of football player on the park. Something that we've no got, mate, you know.
The squad's Fredbear, mate. Fredbear. Anyway,
of course, that's what I'm saying.
Josh, we've got a few calls coming in, mate, so give your last word, Josh.
I'll just go the new Ox. But for me, Billy, that's why I said and called for the manager's head, because I knew that the record was atrocious. But for me, quickly, it's galling for me and it's sickening for me that you've got McInnes that's come in at Hearts, and he's going to win the league. And you've got an old man across the city, 73 years of age, that is still got a dysfunctional rubbish team like Celtic, still challenging for it. And we are capitulated and fell off a cliff. That says everything for me. But thanks very much for having me.
Cheers, Josh.
Guys.
Cheers, Josh. And the criticism will grow on Billy's stats. I think it's the last 2 weeks. Anyway, we'll be joined with Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Hi, evening, Ops. It's just on that point. I was listening to all the different sort of podcasts and all that today at work. You know, I don't tend to do too much at work these days. Following Rangers is sadomasochistic.
Have a word with all bear.
But I wanted them quoting a stat that Danny Rowe against the other 5 top 6 teams, he's beat them 6 out of 14 times. 14 games against the other 5 top 6 teams, he's only beat them 6 times. And and it's just astonishing, really, you know. And it can't all be his fault. I'm not willing to blame it on him. I'm not calling for his head. And equally, I just when they phase me if he walked away or get sacked tomorrow, it would, you know, when they really register too much. And I think that in itself is quite, you know, there's no emotional tie, there's nothing. And so going forward, it must be hard coming in for a different country, a different culture, acquiring a club like Glasgow Rangers the size of, not in a business sense, but certainly, you know, with the prestige and the history and everything, because I still see it as football and aristocracy, you know, a bit down at heel, but I still see it like that. And it must be hard, but Mr. Kavanagh's got to, he's got to come busting out the traps next season. And I don't know. I don't know. It just seems to be rinse and repeat, you know.
I'll tell you another thing, mate. See if we get to the split next season. We've got a free week before it. I don't think we should be going a trip to Spain, mate.
No.
Anyway.
Down to Gullen.
That's not really what does it? You know, and listen, I wasn't against it, but when you look at it, it just looks crazy because you've come back and you've lost. You've done all supposedly all that work in the training field and you've lost 5 goals in 2 games. You know. Anyway, we've been joined by our Jimmy. Evening, James. How you doing, mucker?
Good evening, lads. Thanks for taking my call. The Danny Rowe one, I'm relying on the owners for the whole thing now, you know, because I don't think they're playing about. And as somebody said, I think they're ruthless. So they're looking at it from a business point of view. They're no Rangers men or anything like that. All this that they get the Rangers and they play and all this and they know all about it. That's just them playing the game, getting all the soft skills, you know, getting 40s took with Union Bears and folk wearing brown shoes and jackets and Rangers badges and all that stuff and buying them the odd pint of lager here and there in the away games. But they're out and out businessmen and it all depends on success. They want the same as the people. They want the Rangers to be winning things. So folk that roll and all the folk don't really matter to them. As long as they get somebody delivering, they'll be happy. But I think he'll get a chance, maybe, I don't know, maybe at the start of next season to see how he goes, you know. But certainly he'll not be there at Christmas if he fall behind or anything like that. But I think it's a culture in the whole club because if you look right back, we've had chances of success going right back when we were in that second division and all the rest of it, and we were playing Hibs and we were beating Hibs in the Scottish Cup, and then we ended up getting gubbed. And the two of them won a second division or whatever division it was called at that time. we couldn't see it through. We couldn't bring it out, and then all the rest of the games. But then nowadays, the fans have got a thing when it comes to pre-season friendlies. They're getting minutes into the legs. They're getting themselves fit. They're doing this, they're doing that. You know, we never used to have friendlies. We had to win. We'd go up to the Highlands in Scotland, play all the wee teams, bang in a few goals. The people that we got to score goals would get goals because it was lesser opposition. So the confidence would go up. They'd be getting the goals, the confidence go up, and we'd build and build and build. I'm not saying we were that successful, but we got a better team and a stronger team, and it bonded together. Now it's all about minutes, so it doesn't matter. Pre-season doesn't matter, and then the next thing doesn't matter. Then it's a plastic pitch. Then it's the referees. Then it's the world's against us. Then it's injuries. And then it's just story after story after story. And then Tav gets on rolling out some pre-prepared speech all about losing and how disappointed everybody is. All that never used to happen with the Rangers. Even the European finals now, you know, when they feel we come back for extinction and we get into the final and this. You know, I can never remember as a wee boy the people running about me celebrating the Fiorentina result. We getting beat with them. And then when we went to Nuremberg and get beat by Bayern Munich, we were never saying, oh, we got here and we done this and we done that. It was defeats. We get beat. We only celebrated when we won in Barcelona. Now they're celebrating Manchester, celebrating this, celebrating that. We're celebrating failure. And it's endemic now in the fans because the fans have no seen success. So the whole thing's all geared up now that the players have got all the excuses, they've got all the reasons, and the manager's just messing about. So I'm relying on the owners to instill that. Listen, you have to win, and if you don't win, you're not going to be there. They're giving them the money, get the players you want, and obviously they've looked at why it failed with this other mob, having sporting directors and all the rest of it. So that's how they get rid of them. Because they'd have said to Gerrard, they'd have said to all these people, Souness, all the rest of them, they'd have said, how's nobody wanting a job? They said, because we've got this guy that he has to provide the players, and then if they fail, these guys still stay there, but they get bagged. So that's how I think they've got rid of them. So I'm relying on these owners now to bring a success, and I believe that success will come. But it has to be created with a winning mentality. No victimisation, no everything or excuses, just going out and beating them. I mean, that was a terrible Celtic team. 2 games in a row, we played them at Ibrox. 2-0 up. And then when the fans all started singing about this sad Martin O'Neill and all that, and a sad whatever it was, you can't swear, that would have got his back up. He'd have loved that. Went into them in the dressing room. Managers, they make a difference to the teams coming out. McInnes made a difference. The Motherwell guy made a difference. And McInnes yesterday made a difference at half-time. Our guy can't do that. He can't get across to them. He might speak the speak and talk to them, but the players couldn't care less. The players couldn't care less about the Rangers. They're helping the other team. They're all laughing and joking after the game. They're trying to sort each other out of camp. The other teams used to be going out, storming out mad, crazy about the whole thing. Seeing a league medal going away, their last chance of a medal. It doesn't mean anything to them now. They couldn't care less. So it's up to the owners to instill that if you don't win here, you'll not be here. And this is a cushy number you've got with good money, good this, good that. But there's nothing like that now. It's just that they all come and they all go. And this training centre, how many players are we getting out of that? It's all right saying we've got wee boys at 12 winning cups, but we want the wee boys breaking into the first team and making a go at it. We've not got nothing like that at all. And that's what's so sad about it. And the fans are playing a part. People say, oh, they shouldn't be doing. Well, we shouldn't be praising any kind of failure, and we shouldn't be thinking it's great, and we shouldn't be still dwelling on all this business when we get put down the leagues and all that. It's done and dusted. We could have still been winning Scottish Cups and League Cups, and we weren't. We've had umpteen chances to be successful, and we've not took it. And as somebody says, there's Martin O'Neill, and then they talked about that last game against the Celtic, and it was 3-1 or whatever, when that guy scored the 2 goals. Chesnenki or whatever his name is, him that scored a great goal at Ibrox that got forgot about because we come back to 2 each. That was that other guy that was there managing the Celtic then. He couldn't manage a Swedish show. But things change with the manager, and your managers have to get that in as well. It's all right saying he's a rookie manager and he doesn't know this and he doesn't know that. He has picked up all the rest of the soft bits there. But it's a nitty-gritty about winning we need to get across. It's winning that matters. Nothing else matters. That's all. Winning.
Aye, well, the last 2 games have been sore, Jim, and I hear it in your voice there, mate. I don't disagree with a lot of your sentiment, but I'll bring in brother Jim, when you come, mate.
Jimmy, that speech could have been doing the more night, man, before they call it the elections, brother. Great speech here, big man. Fantastic. I agree with you, I wholeheartedly agree with you in a lot of things there, mate. It's these guys are there to make money, and that's where this manager. We cannot say what we want. It'll be down to them. They'll be the ones that will have the decision. And you're right there, and it's still been brought up here tonight, Jimmy, about standing over the top of the Hearts players, by the way, man, helping them with cramp. Standing at the end of the game, having a laugh and joke with them. Rangers teams in the past wouldn't have done it, Jimmy. No chance.
Olber.
Aye, he's right about the victimhood thing. It's endemic, isn't it? It's just this poor us. It's petty lip stuff. You see it on the park. The moans and groans on the park. They try to complain about things, and it's just like we school lasses complaining about things. You just have to say to yourself, grow up. You're supposed to be a man. I don't like shrinking violence, never had. And I agree with Jim as well, but it's helping Hearts players with cramp and all that. We're just pussies, mate. That's all we are. Just you look at it and say to yourself, what are you doing? I mean, he's in the ground, kick him. He's doing, stick a boot in him, and let him get up. Oh no, I'll help you up. Are you all right? You feel okay? Can I get you an aspirin? It's madness, mate. It's total madness. It's no Rangers. It's been missing for years. It's staying missing till somebody wakens up and says, look, you need to get horrible. And it usually starts with the manager. Walter Smith wouldn't have tolerated some of these players, just would not at all. Do you imagine Walter Smith with Raskin with his performance? He knows Raskin's a good player, a decent player, and he puts that performance. You think Walter Smith would have let that go? Raskin has been terrified to come off that park. He knows he's got that tunnel facing. But he knows he can do anything he wants, just do anything he wants, say anything he wants. Tavernier marching about like a prima donna, can he defend? We're getting beat and he's wandering about there. And he's on instructions and horns are all gone and all that. We're backs against the wall. Did you hear any instructions coming from that? Did you see any instructions coming from that? No, this is the things we're talking about. You've got to grab the situation with the horns and take control, but we don't. We never do. Well, maybe for years, not just the nudes, for years. We're watching teams, bang average teams running over the tap of us. I've been watching. You've been watching it. Teams that that Heart, I came back to. Hearts are not a good team. Well played to them. I hope they go and win the league. They probably deserve to win the league because they're the best of a bad bunch. But I don't think they're an unbeatable team that you go, wow, what a team, man. That's a great team.
Can I have a yes or no? Can I have a yes or no for you? And then I'll take it with the panel. At half time, we thought we'd win that game. Albert, yes or no?
Oh, aye, definitely.
Cliff?
100%.
Billy?
Yep.
Jimmy Street?
Yes.
Jim?
Oh, aye. I thought we'd won it when I left the first off. I thought we were on our way.
I had my concerns, but I did. Aye, carry on, Albert. And then
well, that's a good point. That's sort of Jimmy's point and the point I'm trying to make. That question just slips right in. We all thought, right, a Rangers team that we know is going to just see that game out, wins it easy. All of a sudden, our bottle crash, we just fell apart. Why? And it's been happening and happening and happening. The question needs to be asked. It keeps getting asked, why? Why is this happening? It shouldn't be like this, but it is like that. And you see
is it the leaders, mate? I'm going to bring Billy.
I can't put my finger on it. I can take stabs at it the same as everybody else can take stabs at it. Scottish players, all the rest of the nonsense that's getting talked. It's nothing to do with Scottish players. It's nothing to do with. It's just It's just sheer bottle, mate. If you've got players on the park that are no interested for a start and ones that have no get the bottle, no interest and no get the bottle, well, you're never going to win anything, mate. Sometimes you've just got to roll the sleeves up, and sometimes you've got to have the sheer determination to win. How do you get that into a team if they've no already got it? I don't think you can get it into a player. If he's not that type of player, you can't install it in him. It's not going to happen, mate. You've either got that kind of nature or you've got that kind of nature. If you looked at the Hearts players, you can see that's no put on. They are like that. That wee bragger up front and players like that run all day, but they're clattering into you. They're wanting to win the ball. They're wanting to win the game. They're doing anything and everything to win that game. You've got us with gentlemanly conduct and dib. It's like schoolboy stuff for us. They don't see. I don't see the determination. I don't know views, but I don't see that level of determination. You're going to get with the Pedo Dome next week, and you're going to get them with that attitude that they've got, and we're going to run a bit like with the attitude we've got. And you're saying it's no comparison, mate. It's just no comparison. People hate us, mate. We don't understand this. I don't even think the owners understand it. They absolutely hate us. And you sit and go, well, you've got to use that hate. You've got to motivate yourself. I mean, I'll give you the team talk for next week. Martin O'Neill turned around and says a few weeks ago, talking about the running. He's talking about, it's Hearts are this and we're that. And they talked about Rangers. And this is his words. Rangers are incidental. They're incidental. They don't matter. I said that was his words, mate. Just incidental. Now, you're going up there. And I'd be saying to the players, they're what this guy's saying about you. I'd be saying it to you. Listen, and if you go out there and don't take something out of this game, and preferably a win, well, that tells you everything you want. The Rangers support Ross Don and Black. Now, this is judgment time, this game. This is a judgment. And we're sitting here and going like that with the
I think the judgment, I think that guillotine's failed the last two games.
Oh, I know. But that's the team talk, mate. Yeah. And up until now, they're proving his point. They're proving his point. You're incidental. Nobody's bothering about you anymore. Motherwell came and gave you a football lesson in your own backyard. I mean, you went to Hearts and played them after part of the first half, and they come out and went, just up it up 5 or 10%, you'll beat them. And that's what happened. But as soon as they scored the second goal, we never even looked at getting back in the game. This is the point that Jimmy's trying to make. We're always looking for an excuse.
Cheers. And you come, Billy Boy.
Hi, Jimmy. How you doing, mate? Oh, listen, I couldn't agree with you more, pal. Everything you've said is bang on the money, mate. Bang on the money, 110%. Bang on the money, mate. These players, I've said it all along, mate. I've questioned their mental toughness, their character. They've not got the bottle, eh? It's as simple as that. They're bottle merchants. That's where they don't check standards. They've no passion. They've not got a winning mentality, you know. They've not got that will to win, that hunger, that desire, you know, the heart to go along with it, you know. They accept second best, you know, and that was a perfect example there, night, and they're going and helping players up and all that, right? And it's got to stop. You know, our success, our history wasn't built on that. Like, you know, I mean, that people used to talk about John Lundstrom not being good enough, but what Lundstrom did, he had that heart and desire, and I can always remember the tackle in the cup final when he put one of the Celtic players right up in the air, and Calvin Bassey went out to pick him back up, and Lundstrom went out to Bassey and shoved him out the road as if to say, what you doing? Leave it, let him lie there. And that's what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing. See if they've got cramp, let them have cramp. Let one of their own players sort it out. What are we doing? What's that all about? That's utter nonsense. Oh, it's all right. We're 2-1 down. Oh, what? You got a sore leg, pal? Oh, you got a wee bit of cramp? Right, come on then. I'll sort that out for you. Utter garbage. You know what I mean? Utter garbage. And then you look at, you know, there's the game on Sunday here. There's a possibility that we could be 7 points ahead Celtic, you know, or we could be 2 points behind them. But when you see what we're seeing, you know, we're not being defeated or anything like that, but we're looking at the reality side of it, you know, and us going 7 points ahead them is a strong possibility. It's not the fans that accepted that. It's the players. They're the ones to blame, you know. They're the ones to blame, and the manager's there and all. He, as I said before, he's going to accept his responsibility.
Oh, I mean, you lose two big games. You lose two big games. You take the 180 minutes and you don't perform for more than 50% of it. And I'm being kind. I'm saying we performed for 50% of the Motherwell game. So the manager's going to get criticism. The players are going to get criticism. In the last 2 weeks, when you look at the amount of goals we've lost, and I'll bring in Jimmy Street here, for the criticism, it's hard to defend or deflect it because just the simple amount of goals we lost is unacceptable. Jim?
Oh, if you look at the other managers that's involved against the Rangers, they've made a difference to their teams when we've been winning 2-0, and then when we've come back for a 2-0 down to 2 each, there should only have been one team win it. But that never happened. They come back and beat us. Well, but it's just no there. They've just no go to it. And that mentality, you're right back to Thistle in the Cup with that Beale character when we scored the good goal. That boy, what was it? Wasn't it Tillmans or something? Him with the curly hair, the German boy. He scored the goal and he says, oh, no, we can't have this, isn't ungentlemanly conduct and all that. And they let them score that rubbish. You know, that shouldn't be happening. It should be the referees that sort that out. They should be the ones that's worrying about all the rest of it. We should just be focusing on winning the game. It doesn't matter how we win it or what we do, as long as we win it. And that's it. And that's what the fans should be doing. We're good enough and we're strong enough to be beating most teams with the size of our clubs. I mean, we never used to worry about it. I mean, I was confident of going to Tynecastle and getting a win there, based on who we were playing and based on where it was. I thought we'd go and get a result there. And then I thought we'd go and get something at Parkhead. I still think we'll get something at Parkhead. I got a ticket for Parkhead this week, so I'm quite fortunate. But I think we'll go to Parkhead and get a result there. But if I was a heel character, I'd be telling them, I'd say, look, half these players are on loan, and then there's other ones that's getting freed up and getting left. So they're not going to be throwing themselves into the game and the risk of injury, you know? So if they put in a few crunching tackles, the way your guys is, they'll just take a back seat. They'll just stand back. And I don't think the managers go to go in there and say, right, get right into them now. You know, he'll be, okay, lads, we'll just do this and we'll just do that. It's just no there, that fighting spirit. That spirit that you have to win at all costs, it just doesn't seem to exist. And that's how I'm relying on these owners to instill it and do it by threatening them and bagging them and saying, look, just get your gear and away you go. Through the manager and the coaching staff and recruiting people that are winners. Get people that are winners. That's what Gerrard done. That's what Souness, that's what they all done. And then the folk that run the club, when that Holmes guy took over, he got that wee guy that used to work for him, Doddy, and he was a boot-room guy, a right good wee blue nose. And then when he was retiring, they got the bus driver, that was Jimmy Bell, and getting the guys. So there was guys firing that into them all the time. It's all about winning. Characters. There's no going that. There's no role models. They talk about Tavernier and they all say, oh, they're looking up to him. And then you've got fans. There was fans. We had games that we were challenging for the league there. The Motherwell game and the Hearts game. There was fans worried about tifos and worried about testimonials for James Tavernier. A good service to the club. But he wasn't doing it as a volunteer. He was getting made a multi-millionaire. He done all right with the Rangers. And all he's got to show for it is one league, the one when the COVID, when nobody was seeing it, and 2 extra time cup finals against Hearts and Aberdeen. When it was 90 minutes, it was draws, and we get through in the extra time. And that's it. And they're saying, oh, well, we need to worry about a tifo. We need to worry about his last game. I'm glad. You know, it's crazy. We should be worrying about winning leagues, winning cups and winning trophies. No worrying about nothing else. It's only winning. Nothing else matters.
I'll bring in the other Jim. Jim, is another point I'm picking up for you, what Jimmy's saying and some of the lads are playing. Is it come back to when you get to this end of the season, the business end, if you like, the last 5 games, can these loan players influence your squad? Because they've got to be looking to the future.
Aye, they're no other players. Jimmy's right. Rangers mean the hunt of these guys. Not the same way that Rangers make me mean you. But see on the Tavernier thing, do you think his announcement prior to the two games, I'm not saying that it was, do you think that it played a part?
There's only one man.
Anywhere.
There's only one man I can take that question to. Anybody got any guesses?
Albert.
What was the
Albert,
question?
go for
Sorry,
it, son.
mate. What was the question,
No.
mate?
Has the Tavernier announcement had an adverse reaction on these games? I'm only saying it came right out.
It's played a part, Jim. It's definitely played a part.
I think so. No.
But again, that sort of contradicts what Jimmy's saying. We're using that as an excuse just because we can't win a game. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done it. But it's the point I was trying to make about Roll. He's no control of these guys. They're doing what they want to do. I mean, he's coming out and saying that the club have no control. They were all surprised. They try to come out and say they discussed it. They might have very well done, but the Lister came to an agreement and went, look, we'll keep it at the end of the season. Because he was on the Sky, I led to believe, getting an interview just before saying, no, I've not discussed anything. No, I've not made my mind up what's happening. We're waiting to see, you know. And then the very next day or the next couple of days after, he's out saying, no, I'm leaving. So you're sitting going, somebody's lying here. Somebody's just telling blatant lies here. So obviously he's thought about it. Why has he come out and said it? I don't know. I've heard the day that he's offered a year's contract with reduced wage. I don't know if this is true. It's all rumours and things like that. But at the end of the day, it seems very, very strange. All I've seen is we've no control of this guy. He's just doing what he wants to do for the benefit of him. He's not interested in this running. He's interested in him.
See if we're offering James Tavernier, who I've liked with his time in his club. He's not been the worst player, and his stats are unbelievable. But see if we're offering James Tavernier a contract, if that was true and he didn't want it, that's wrong as well, mate. Because let's be honest, we've all watched players and we know when somebody's legs have gone, and Tav's legs have gone. And he's a shadow of what he was, if you think back to 2022, when we went to Seville and he's up and down the park. He's a shadow of the player. Because it's just the sands of time waiting for no man, Smurf. You can't, and he's played so many games and turned up for his work. He'll be paying a price for that as well, you know. But if somebody thought that's a good idea when his legs have gone, I shake my head, Smurf.
Well, if the man had a legacy, he would want to move on because, let's be honest, he'd want to protect it. He wouldn't be wanting a new contract. He'd be wanting to go somewhere where he's going to play regularly and contribute and compete. He's no competitive at Rangers anymore. And it'd be shocking if he was offered a new contract, really. And he's no deserving of one. He gave us good service, but he's also been handsomely paid. And that's fine. That's so he should be. But Rangers owe him nothing, and I'm not a hater. You know, it's a point in time in our history, and you know, and he's sort of navigated choppy waters for us and been consistent through a period of inconsistency. You know, and I'm talking about a decade here. But he's been handsomely paid and flattered to deceive at times. And I wish him well, but he needs to move on. The last thing he needs is a new contract for us. You know, we need players. You look at our Romans, right? You look at us. Our season's become derailed, falling off a cliff, and it's no coincidence that it's happened when Romans and Nadiri are both get injured and went out the team. Guys that work hard, have got graft and ethic, and certainly in Robinson's case, a wee bit of quality about him. You know, we need players like that in our team. We need disrespect, has-beens, and we don't need your Asgards. You know, let's face it, he's a five-a-side player. We don't need guys like that in our team. We need people in the mould of Romans and Nadiri going forward. And but we can't afford to get it wrong. Well, I think we need a dozen players in the summer.
Oh, I'm sure we'll talk about that before the end of the season, mate. But Bill, I want to go at James Tavernier. I'm not saying when your legs have gone, eh?
Listen, there's no point dressing up with a boy, you know. I've spoke about Tavernier umpteen times in this show early years. His his good things that he's done for the club and his faults, and I've always tried to be constructive. In both scenarios, mate, with the good things that he's done and also constructive criticism where he's and his faults, like, you know. But listen, we all see it. But your eyes don't lie, mate. You know, he's gone. His legs have gone, like, you know, and I can't understand for the life of me, like, you know, when he's standing there, as Albert mentioned earlier on, mate, when he's waving his arms around, that to me, that's just out of frustration. That's what that is, mate. That's because he's maybe in his mind, he's maybe thinks he knows what he's trying to do, but his body's no carrying him there. That's just my opinion on it, Ox. But listen, I wouldn't have given him another extension on his contract. And to be fair, I wouldn't give Big Shooter another extension on his contract either. There's a few of them there, mate, that they've made enough money out of Rangers, you know. And I'll touch on wee Raskin and all, just to take some of the heat off of Tavernier, to be honest with you. If somebody come in with good money for Raskin in the summer, mate, I would punt him too. I really would. Just for the way.
I don't think
just the way I would, mate. And listen, I've been a big admirer of Nico Raskin, mate. But I think his tenure at Rangers is a bit finished as well, like, you know. So we need to start getting more. We need to start with a nucleus of fresh, young, hungry players that want to come in. No, loan deals are all right to a certain extent as well, Ox, but when they're gone away at the end of the season and that, you can't build a foundation or a platform or a spine of a team with loan players. And I know it's all right to say in the try before you buy scenario. I get that and understand that, but you've got to have players that's young and hungry, understand what the club's all about, and want to come in and fight and battle and scrape and win and do everything they possibly can to keep a hold of that jersey. That's what we need in that Rangers team, mate. James Tavernier, unfortunately, is no one of the players like many others, mate.
His legs have gone. The loan players, Max Aarons hasn't worked out. Young Magoma, Albert has looked like a decent player. The Jiga bomb scare up to Christmas, went away, and has been okay since then. He has got that rapid bit of pace that you don't get in a centre half. Is he the best centre half I've ever seen? No, he's no. Skov Olsen, I'm glad we tried before we buy Mikey Moore. Didn't start well, but it's been a hit. You know, I think you can have, but I think we've ended up with too many, mate.
I think it's finance, the big part to play in it as well. You've got to remember that. Because we had to get a lot of players. So we bought a lot of players and we couldn't afford to buy them all. So you had to bring in some loans. So you've got to use the loan market to your best of your ability. So that's just a fact of life. That's what we had today. And we're going to have to do it next year again. Because if Smith's right with 12 players, you're not going to go and buy 12 players, mate. You might buy 46, maybe even 7, but you're not going to buy 12, and you're going to get at least 5 loan players. You might get some of these ones back again. You might, but it doesn't normally work out like that. It's going to be loan players and a combination of loan players and purchases, and because you've not got the money to keep doing what we're trying to do, mate. It's crazy. We just never get settled in and going, right, this year we only need 2 or 3 players. It's always 5, 6, 7, 12 players. It's crazy, mate. The turnover last year was something like 30 odd players. It's nuts, mate. You can't do it every year. It's impossible. No team can do this.
And look at the way players start. If you go back to August time, you thought, oh, Ant-Man, Gasserman, I brought them in, pace down both wings, that'll hurt teams. How did that pan out for us, Jim?
Aye. Yeah, but sorry, I didn't know what Jimmy you were talking about.
Oh, sorry,
on you go, Jimmy.
My fault.
Sorry.
Go to you, Jim, and then I'll bring in Jimmy Street. Go on, Jim.
Right, aye. It's taking its toll on us, and I think the sad thing is that you're saying there again, it's going to need to happen again next season.
Aye.
But we could have been having to do it to be in a position of strength. Now it looks as if the strength's going to be sucked out us again. But we need, if we're going with that loan, we need to make sure these loan players are the right players.
It's difficult to make professional football players the modern age, mate. If you bring them up to the Premiership, getting big bucks, you know, you sign a percentage. So I think it's better, but I don't know if it's always the ability. It's maybe mentality, cojones, whatever you want to call it. All
there's one thing we do. There's one thing we need to stop doing. See these players with reputations, has-beens, and reputations. Like Olsen's a good example, and he's not the only one. He's been a good player, but he's not playing for the club that he's playing for the now, and he's probably not played for the club previous to that as well. We're taking they type players and thinking, we'll get something out of him. The fact of the matter, he's not playing for these teams for a reason, and 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, it's for a very good reason. They're not good enough. They've gave up. Their hearts went out of them, whatever. They've had the money, now they just don't care. They're not interested in playing football. They're definitely not interested in putting shifts in. So stop that nonsense. I'll cut that out. If a player's got a reputation, but he's not playing for his parent club or whatever, nah, don't touch them. Don't get near on a badge pull. There's a reason for it. Look at Matondo for us. Didn't he play with us? Went to wherever he went to. Never heard it again. And it never will be. We man's just stealing a wage out of football. He's going to get in his 30s and 40s and looking back and going, somebody's going to say, what kind of career did you have? I played for so-and-so. Knowing fine well he done nothing. Absolutely zero. And he's a multi-millionaire. So don't name any of the players. Just stay well clear of them. I don't want reputations that don't play for the club that they're with.
Jimmy Street.
Right, it's a hard one. Everybody in football now is making a fortune, whether they're any good or whether they're no. You know, your managers making fortunes that are not very good, agents making fortunes, and players making fortunes. So it's hard for the clubs to actually find a winning formula. But with the size that the club at the Rangers is, we should be doing much better, and we'll need to do better. And having a team full of young ones is okay, but when times are hard, they need to have somebody that they can look and turn round to and say, how do we dig our way out of this? And we've only had Tav doing that. And Tav's not really our own success story, you know, over the years that he's been there. Fair enough, he's played in some of the poorest teams, but all I'm going to remember Tav is for 2 penalty kicks in the Scottish Cup, one last season against Queen's Park, and one this season, the first one he took against the Celtic, both at the Rangers end. So when they're talking about all the things that he's done, all the wonderful goals he's scored, I'll remember him for the penalty kicks. 2 heartbreakers, you know. Knocked us out the Scottish Cup, Queen's Park, and he's got the first game against the Celtic. And what do you call it? The penalty shootout. He blasted it and missed it. These are the things that, you know, I just can't... It just causes me a hurt and upset when I see all these things. And folk are saying, oh, this, that, and the next thing, you know. But he's been a good player for us. But he's been playing in some of the worst Rangers teams that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? He's a standout in it. You know, he's a small fish, a big fish in a small pond. He's been a reasonably good player with good stats in poor Rangers teams. You know, but I don't know, but I'm totally reliant on these owners because they're the only ones that's going to make a difference. It's how hungry they are and how much they want to push the boat out and how much change. And they can do it by pushing cash out because that's the only 2 ways that we've had it before is through a dictator and pushing money at it with John Lawrence and David Murray. And these guys are in the same boat. They've got the cash and they have the shout and they can change it. Danny Rowe, I don't know what will happen to him. He'll get a spell at it. But the pressure's really, if he thinks there's pressure now, wait till the start of next season. Because you can't afford to lose any goals. You can't afford to go behind in the league. You can't afford to get knocked out of any cups. So the pressure's really going to be on the boy then.
Smurf.
Aye, it's going to be a long road, isn't it? It's I don't know. I think going forward, Rangers really need to take stock. I do think a Scottish heart is required. I'd like to see the boy Lewis Ferguson, and maybe Billy Gilmore. They're not really getting much game time there in Italy. I'd like to see both of them coming to the club. I'd like to see Scottish players, if there's any out there with the requisite level of ability, coming to the club and I do think that would make a difference. And somebody that knows the club as a manager, really, you know, I'm not saying we should go back to Stevie G, but I think we do need somebody with a bit of clout and commands respect and has got experience. I think the club's too. Steven Gerrard made it work for him eventually, and he was a guy with a particular character. But people are few and far between. I don't think it's a job for a young man, a young coach. So, aye, that's my input.
All right. Cheers, Smurf. Thanks for that, mate. Last word, Billy boy.
Aye, just a quick one, mate, just to touch on the winger scenario, mate. I think that what we need to do going forward with these wingers, mate, we need to start letting wingers be wingers. You know, especially in Scotland, mate, you don't need all these fancy tactics and all that in Scotland. You know, it's all right getting hand tactics in Europe, but you never seen the managers, for talking sake, that played, that had the likes of Laudrup, Davy Cooper, Lovenkrands, Hoostra, Neil McCann, Wally Henderson, wee Tommy McLean. You know what I mean? The managers never turn around and says, "Oh, by the way, you need to do this, you need to do that." They just went like that. Go and impose yourself in the game. And that's where I think the likes of Gassama and Ant-Man have maybe fell down a bit, because they've been tacticated out their nuts, basically, to play that in a particular way, you know, and that's not what these wingers are all about. Wingers are all about getting on the ball and driving forward, going taking players on, getting to the byline and wee dribbles and tricks and all that. And when you start to take that out away from them, you're taking the winger out the equation. You're taking what he's all about. That's what he is. That's what he's there for. He's a winger. You know, but cheers, listen, we'll maybe talk to that in half time anyway, Ox. But anyway, cheers for taking my call, mate, and I'll speak to you later on.
Yes, the one and only Jimmy Street, please. Last word, Jimmy boy.
Well, thanks for taking my call. But when I looked at what's going to happen, or what there's a chance of happening, we're going to be in a worse position at the end of this season than what we were last season. You know, as far as the league and all the rest of it goes, you know, instead of being second, we're going to be third. Good chance of that happening. So we're actually going back a way, which is very, very sad. And I just hope that the Americans sort that out.
Aye. Nah, it's definitely been an eventful season, but I hope it kills you. Jim, thanks, Jimmy. Great to hear you as always, mate.
Great show tonight, big man. Fantastic. Good callers. But you're right what you say there. It is the hope it kills us. I know I've been slaughtered out here in the last few weeks about my white flag, but you're waiting to happen. And that's how I was never getting myself too caught up with it. You're always waiting to happen. That's what becomes a being a Rangers fan. Over the last 10, 15 years. It's the hope it kills you.
It's been a good few weeks, mate. You're dead. Albert.
Thanks.
Have you got? Have you gave up? It's not over yet. I don't know what you're getting up for.
That's not finished yet, by the way. Aye, we could, aye.
Keep believing till you don't believe anymore, mate.
Ah, well, that's it.
Aye.
Marvin Andrews, anyway, Damon Andrews, mate.
I'm older Damon Andrews.
But it's not done yet, mate. It's not done yet. And by the way, second place is still going to be played for as well.
Oh, well.
There's nothing dished out yet.
Worth a lot of money. You're right, Albert. You're right, but it's been so disappointing. Listen, can we thank Josh and Bob J who come on early? Of course, Jimmy Street, Billy, and Smurf for joining us. Always great to hear from everybody. Thanks to Jim and Albert for doing the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Still doing a post-mortem, I'd imagine. Thanks for listening. Thanks to everybody's support in the show. And thanks to all our new listeners tonight. We always appreciate new listeners over there, don't we?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Aye. Enjoy yourselves.
Leave
those kids alone.
Yeah, Declan, Michael and Kevin for joining us. Thanks for everybody. We'll be back tomorrow night, and I'm sure the post-mortem will continue. Take it away, Old School Blue.